to disregard the false reports. In another development, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have apprehended a narcotics trafficker at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, who ingested 87 wraps of cocaine. The 41-year-old suspect, who was arrested on the 25th of August 2021, was subjected to secondary checks on arrival from Kigali via Addis Ababa on board an Ethiopian airline flight 911, during which he was found to have ingested illicit substances weighing 1.884 kilograms. In the same vein, a Lagos-based drug dealer was arrested following the interception of 4.15 kilograms of methamphetamine going to London at the narco export shed of the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Ikeja, on 13th August. The drug was concealed in tins of branded tomato packaged for delivery. Meanwhile, raids on drug joints carried out across states in the last week have led to the seizure of 400.37 kilograms of illicit substances, including cocaine, cannabis, skunk, and tramadol syrup, among others. The states are Anambra and Cross River states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory. The 29th of August every year was set aside to mark International Day Against Nuclear Tests, with a view to constraining testing as a system for stopping any nation from developing nuclear weapon. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports that about 2,000 tests have been carried out since nuclear weapon development began in 1945.
Nuclear technology can be likened to a coin with two sides. It has multiple applications that are fundamental to man's daily life, such as in medicine, electricity, agriculture, industry, and arts. All these can be classified as peaceful utilization. The application for military purpose, like atomic bomb, is what obviously has negatively affected mankind. At the 64th session of the United Nations General Assembly, 29th August was declared the International Day Against Nuclear Tests through the unanimous adoption of its resolutions.
The only world that is safe from the use of nuclear weapons is a world that is completely free of the nuclear weapons themselves.
As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark this year's day, the acting chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, Professor Yusuf Aminu Ahmed, said Nigeria is also a voice amongst Committee of Nations.
We have successfully deployed the reactor into our geochemical mapping, material testing, mining industries. We have other facilities like the gamma irradiation facility that we have. Nigeria is privileged to be one of the countries that are housing nuclear research reactors in the continent.
Professor Yusuf Aminu Ahmed said the Commission has gotten the backing of the federal government and it's looking at more areas that Nigerians can benefit from nuclear science.
Other sources of energy are available, but we have not tapped the potentials of nuclear energy. Promote a basket whereby all energy sources can complement each other.
We have experienced post-harvest losses in different parts of the country where we have agricultural activities. And we have nuclear techniques that we can deploy to arrest this situation, and that is the use of gamma irradiation facility, which irradiates our agro products.
As the world marks this day, key players say they are hopeful that one day all nuclear weapons will be eliminated. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Nationwide continues in our Lagos studio with Adeola. Hello, Adeola, it's over to you.
Hello, Ayo. Lagos State Government has commenced evacuation of its students and indigents who are currently trapped in the ongoing crisis in Jos Plateau State. The first batch of evacuated students of Lagos extraction were received at the State House by members of Executive Council in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
The recent killing of travelers and subsequent renewed large-scale violence and wanton destruction of lives and property requires urgent need for every state government to evacuate their indigenes from the crisis-ridden Jos Plateau State. After long hours of journey from Jos to Lagos, these 64 students of University of Jos, accompanied by security agents, arrived in Lagos, and their joy knew no bounds.
From Jos to Lagos State, we were given maximum security, good hospitality, good welfare, good security.
Commissioner for Information, Benga Motosho, who received the students on behalf of Governor Sanwo-Olu, said efforts are being intensified to ensure that none of the state indigenes is left behind in the violence-torn Jos.
So the governor is very happy that you are here in peace. The governor is very happy that none of you have suffered any loss.
It is a really big deal for us that the Lagos State government and all the partners came to our rescue. We say a very big thank you. God bless you.
The students were enjoined to keep upholding COVID-19 non-pharmaceutical protocols before they were released to their families. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Residents of Omoboriowo Street Pipeline Bus Stop in Igondo area of Lagos State, where activities of pipeline vandals led to oil spillage recently, can now breathe a sigh of relief. This follows a preliminary report of a vulnerability assessment carried out by the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, in the wake of the oil spill. Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
The thick and pungent smell of petrol is the first assault to the nose of visitors on arrival at Omoboriowo Street along Pipeline Bus Stop in Igondo area of Lagos State.
We never knew that it won't be real fire outbreak, but this the fuel is just floating out.
Residents of the area were thrown into panic midnight Friday when vandals struck at one of the vulnerable pipeline points on the street as the oil spilled, filling drainages and wetting the soil around the area.
And people started waking up from sleep around that 12 to 1 a.m. running for their dear lives. Children, women running naked, some suffocated.
A prompt and coordinated response of disaster management agencies in Lagos, led by the State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, prevented what could have led to loss of countless lives and property in the wake of the spillage. Director General of LASEMA, Olufemi Okeosonyintolu, while on a vulnerability assessment visit to the scene, applauded the level of synergy among first responders and disaster management agencies in the state towards containing the situation.
When the incident occurred, there's a voluminous ejections of petroleum products that were spreading everywhere. We have to placate it with our chemical to neutralize the inflammable nature of the petrochemicals. I can assure them that they are 100% safe.
He said investigations to unmask the perpetrators have commenced. While commending the swift response of government agencies to the threat, this resident believes that attention should now be turned towards preventing future attacks on pipelines and other critical installations.
Should have a barricade, a very strong iron barricade around all the pipelines around here. And the civil defense that are in charge of the pipeline, they should try to build the stations around the pipeline where they station and do patrols 24/7. The
Nigerian Navy, through Operation Awati, had recently kicked against activities of vandals after intercepting them at Barua Ekpaja and impounding 4 fuel-laden trucks in the raid. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
So much from Lagos, but Nationwide will continue in Maiduguri with Muhammad Ibrahim after this break. To stay with us.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Admission forms into NTA Television College JOS 2021-2022 2-year National Innovation Diploma Program are on sale from 9th of August to 29th of October 2021. Candidates who wish to apply for admission must have 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. The admission forms can be obtained at NTA Television College or any NTA station nationwide at the cost of 7,500 naira only. Payment for the form is through remitter platform only in favor of NTA Television College. For more inquiries, please call 0803 079 5335 or 0806 980 9807. Management Announcer.
The federal government has commenced second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive COVID-19 vaccine. If you received first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July 2021, second dose commences 23rd August and closes 5th September 2021. All vaccines are free and certified safe by WHO and NAFDAC. At the vaccination site, you can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screen for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700 220 1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sport like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Thank you for staying tuned to Nationwide and welcome to Maiduguri. Borno State government says the fight against maternal mortality and child morbidity is a war that must be collectively won with efforts by stakeholders. This came up during the flagging off of Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week at Yarwa Clinic in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Jadwa John Jassani reports.
More than a decade-long Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast region, and particularly Borno State, has affected almost all facets of human endeavors, leaving women and children victims of preventable diseases and other health challenges. Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week, organized by the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, aimed at addressing health problems in the communities and ensure delivery and utilization of stronger and more resilient primary health care services reaches the doorsteps of the people. Flagging of the program, Borno State Commissioner of Health and Human Services, represented by Babagana Kadai, said the initiative seeks to scale up access to essential primary health services and to reduce morbidity and mortality in mothers, pregnant women, and children.
We encourage all mothers to bring their children, especially to patronize the ANC.
Representative of Executive Director, State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Pharmacist Mohamed Buratai, noted that the Health Week will feature and sustain routine immunization against childhood killer diseases, screening for acute malnutrition in children with appropriate referrals, provision of antenatal care for pregnant women, and distribution of mosquito nets to pregnant and lactating women, among others. Representatives of UNICEF and other partners assured to sustain support to the government in its continued effort to improve the well-being of the people. Pregnant and lactating mothers who turned out in their numbers thanked the government for the intervention, saying they will prioritize the health care facility close to them. In Maiduguri, Jadua John Jessini, NTA News.
Towards ensuring maintenance of effective sanitation and hygiene within the learning environment, Borno State Environmental Protection Agency (BOSEPA) has distributed disinfectants in secondary schools within Maiduguri, the state capital. This is part of health measures by Borno State government to prevent spread of infectious diseases and other disease vectors. Abubakar Mohamed Musa reports.
Schools that benefited from the distribution of disinfectants include Yerwa Government Secondary School, Mustafa Umar El-Kanemi Arabic College, and GGSSS Maiduguri, among others. Officer in charge of the distribution, who represented the General Manager BOSEPA, Hajazara, said the exercise is coming on the heels of a directive from the state government towards preventing learners from contracting diseases. She disclosed that fumigation of school premises and hostels will be carried out soon in all the secondary institutions for the overall well-being of the students. Commenting on the development, principals of the benefiting schools who are hosting other secondary institutions due to insurgency assured to use the disinfectants as expected of them, especially in critical areas like toilets and hostels, and praised BOSEPA for the health-driven initiative. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohamed Musa, NTA News.
Those are the stories from Maiduguri. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Ayodeji.
Thanks, Mo. And back here in Abuja, let's continue with Nationwide by also serving you that the fact that the main objective of state's creation has been to enhance the delivery of services and good governance to the local populace and to develop improved infrastructure and administrative apparatus at the grassroots. Correspondent Abdullahi Umar Ilalu takes a look at Kebbi State's journey of 30 years as a state.
Kebbi State, fondly called the land of equity, was carved out of the defunct Sokoto State in the year 1991 by the then military head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Expectedly, within the last 30 years, a lot has happened in all space of human development. As an example, observers are of the view that the current boost to agriculture in the state is unprecedented, where pests in rice production and other crops. We thank the federal government for their support, especially the Anko Barrows program. Some good news is emanating from the education sector, owing to some obvious facts. Healthcare delivery is one area worthy of noting in the journey so far. How far in that regard? This is not to say the state is insulated against some challenges confronting human societies, as noticed in the last 3 decades.
All the Kebians to be tolerant. Let's love one another. Let us combine our efforts, support our leaders, and that is the only way we can succeed.
As the land of equity forges ahead, optimism is high that the current tempo, if sustained, will in no distant future propel the state to easily fit into the class of the most vibrant states in the country in all fronts. Abdullah Umar Ilalu, NTA News.
From Damaturu comes a report that a special prayer for Nigeria to overcome its security and socio-economic challenges was held in Yobe State as the state equally marked 30 years of its creation. Correspondent Adam Yusuf Ali has details.
In the past, anniversaries to commemorate the creation of Yobe State used to be loaded with fanfare conducted over a couple of days, following the recent tragic losses of lives and property occasioned by fraud and gains made by the Nigerian troops in the fight against insurgents in the northeastern region of the country. This time around, government directed the public to go spiritual to seek for divine intervention in their worship centers. In addition to the statewide prayers observed by faithfuls during Friday congregational prayers, a 4-unit special prayer and Quranic recitation were led by the Chief Imam of Yobe State, Ustaz Huzu Muhammad, at the grand prayer session. In his brief sermon, Sheikh Hudu described peaceful coexistence among the citizens, irrespective of ethno-religious backgrounds, as catalysts for sustainable political, social, and economic development of the country.
But Excellency thought, because of the current situation we have in this country, where some of the states in the country are into mourning of persistent killings of human beings. So essentially, let us pray for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we had peace in Yobe State, let the peace be extended to all the other 36 states in Nigeria.
The Yobe 13th anniversary was low-key out of concern for the flight of flood victims across the state. More prayers are said to be conducted in churches across Yobe State.
The one-day peace prayer to mark Yobe at 30, according to the Chief Imam Yobe Mosque and Islamic Center, is expected of every believer to join for peaceful coexistence to exist in Yobe and Nigeria at large. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
The federal government has postponed the Nigeria at 60 Jubilee Special Award Ceremony billed for Friday, September 3, 2021. A statement by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, at the weekend says a new date will be communicated to members of the public. The award ceremony was planned as part of the Jubilee celebrations of the nation's independence and was designed to honor 60 notable Nigerians who have made an impact in the country. The statement also says the special award ceremony is being put together by the Ownership Subcommittee of the Nigeria at 60 Committee in collaboration with a media and digital communication firm under the chairmanship of the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. Stakeholders have reassured Nigerians that Anambra gubernatorial election slated for 6th November this year will be free, fair and credible. This was at a round-table dialogue at the instance of National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies to mainstream and guard against anticipated issues that could mark credibility of the election. Kenneth Nanim reports.
Those challenges being experienced before, during and after elections, ranging from insecurity to voter apathy, low participation of women and people with disabilities, litigations, vote buying, and all forms of malpractices, amongst other issues, have in many instances marred the outcome of electoral processes in Nigeria. To ensure these challenges are adequately addressed, to guarantee a credible process in the Anambra governorship elections slated for November this year, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies gathered major stakeholders to discuss the way forward.
We need to appeal to the youth to calm down, but we must make our election to count. If we make the election in Anambra State to count, it will be an example for others.
The governorship election in Anambra State is coming at a time when our country is faced with enormous security challenges. And that is why the role of security agencies is very, very critical.
The Nigerian police says is using pre-election assessment in line with the political arrangements in Anambra State to strategize on the security of personnel and materials before, during and after the election.
This threat assessment analysis would enable us know the quantity, the quality, and the caliber of security personnel that would be employed to a particular place.
Internal party democracy mechanism, adequate mobilization, and voter education, as well as the need to adhere to COVID-19 safety protocols, are other areas of concern for the participants. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Government has again restated commitments to addressing critical ecological challenges across the country to forestall environmental degradation, loss of lives and property. The assurance was given in Ilorin, the Kwara State's capital, during the site handing over sensitization and awareness of erosion and flood control project at Assa River in Kwara State. Abdul Wahid Bibire has the details.
Assa River is one of the major rivers in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, and anytime there is heavy rainfall and the river overflows its bank, it becomes a nightmare for the people living close to the river. Property worth millions of naira are destroyed annually, and many people have vacated their houses, especially those ones living very close to the river bank. This effect and other ecological challenges prompted the intervention by the presidency through the Ecological Fund Office.
Or geographical location, the president wants to address all the problems of the people, including ecological challenges. So irrespective of where you live, he has extended this gesture to almost every part of Nigeria.
We are here to work and to ensure that a good job is done for the benefit of the people of Kwara State.
The state government has spent so much money on this. So any contractor coming now, as they are starting the work, the engineering work will be easier for them to do.
The contractor should be rest assured that the community will give him the maximum cooperation and the maximum support that is required.
The project is expected to be completed in 18 months.
The people of Isale Koko, Omoiya, Sanushewu, all in Ilorin East local government area of Kwara State, before now, cannot sleep with their two eyes closed due to flood. But this intervention by the federal government through the Ecological Office is no doubt a big relief to them. Abdulwahid Bibire, NTA News.
The heavy flooding in the next 2 weeks predicted by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has informed an instant response from the Nasarawa State government. Apart from the Township Water and Gully Erosion Control Project, it is also convening an emergency sensitization for stakeholders on the Resettlement Action Plan in the state. Abigail Bashi reports that the initiative is to carry everyone along in the task of flood mitigation.
As part of modalities to ensure effective implementation of the Resettlement Action Plan, participants from affected communities were adequately informed in line with guidelines of the project, which has to do with data capturing, verification, validation and compensation in the course of executing the project. Already, 5 local government areas in the state with serious environmental challenges have been earmarked to benefit from the intervention.
We are here to make our environment better and make it more safer and secured.
Our children don't normally go to school because of the problem we have in our sites.
Commissioner for Environment and Solid Minerals, Abubakar Musa Ibrahim, assured of government's commitment to tackle head-on the menace.
It's also a tradition in the World Bank that if a compensation is done, they want to see you improved. They want to see your economic status is changed.
A training session was also organized for staff on best practices towards ensuring the success of the project.
There is what we call validation of the RAP. And this validation cannot be done without the active key players being aware of their roles and responsibilities.
They advise affected persons to channel any issue that may arise to the appropriate quarters. In Lafia, Abigail Bashi, NTA News.
The federal government has embarked on addressing critical ecological challenges across the country. The Permanent Secretary, Ecological Fund Office, Dr. Habib Lawal, made this known at the official site handover and awareness creation ceremony at Bende local government of Abia State. Ifoma Ndu Okolie was there and now reports.
The projects handed over to the contractors are 8.31 kilometer road network for rehabilitation as well as bridge construction to replace the old bridge linking most villages in the community. Dr. Lawal, who was represented at the event by a director at the Ecological Fund Office, urged the people to protect and sustain the projects in order to gainfully utilize the resources committed to the projects by the federal government.
Each of our projects has an expected completion period, and the federal government will not want any delay occasioned by controversies or disputes between contractor consultants and the host community.
Member representing BEM, the federal constituency, Chief Benjamin Carlo, commended the federal government for approving the projects which he noted have been overlooked by the previous administrations.
It is a project spanning about 8-something kilometers of road construction, linking the 5 communities and creating access to the Enugu-Port Harcourt Express Road.
Some residents expressed their joy over the projects which they described as a dream come true.
We are happy with what Buhari is doing at Mba. They should follow up this project and make sure that the contractor delivered on time.
Highlight of the event was handing over of the contract documents to the contractors. From Nkpa community in Bende local government area of Abia State, Ifoma Ndu Okolie, NTA News.
It's now time to join Lanre for more reports on Nationwide from our Ibadan Network Center. Hello, Lanre. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Ayodeji, and welcome to Ibadan. The media has been identified as critical partners since the inception of the Gboyega Oyetola-led administration by lending a hand in promoting the development agenda with which a sustainable and prosperous Osun is built. Governor Oyetola said this at a public lecture organized by Osun State Chapter of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in commemoration of the 30th anniversary of the state. Joshua Ogunjide completes the report.
With the theme Osun at 30, the journey so far, Governor Oyetola maintained that the chronicle of the success of Osun cannot be complete without the stellar contributions of the media, who have acted as watchdog along the way.
An evident testimony of the fidelity of the media to the Osun people is this event put together to interrogate the Osun story in a view to giving it a better future.
Commending the labor of his predecessors in providing direction for the people of Osun, Oyetola said it is certain that posterity will be kind to them all, while also seeking cooperation of the citizenry in order to cement any hearts that dot the state's path to progress. A renowned historical scholar who was the guest speaker, Professor Shinyo Iweso, highlighted that since creation, successive administrations have nurtured Osun in areas of security, qualitative higher education, cultural tourism, mining, agriculture, and food security, hoping that these can be augmented.
What the Osun State, the proposed Research and Archive Bureau will do will be to be a storehouse, a man of information on Osun State before its creation, since its creation, and today.
The appraisal, no doubt, spurred critical reflections on the journey of the state in the last 30 years, as it likewise took a critical look into the days ahead. In Osogbo, Joshua Ogujde, NTA News.
Oyo Town is a place where tradition is strongly preserved for future prosperity. This formed part of the submission of the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Muhammad, at the grand finale of 2021 World SANGO Festival, held at the ancient city. Adekunle Adebayo has details.
The ancient Oyo Town holds a remarkable, rich and complex set of tangible heritage such as Sango. Alaafin Sango's reign in Oyo witnessed tremendous development, and he was deified because he was a man of valor, purpose-driven, and master of diplomacy.
I believe that since it's part of the culture, what we are protecting is our culture.
The 2021 World SANGO Festival was a key element for the maintenance of the city's identity, a place perceived for strong preservation of traditional essence. The festival is a yearly pilgrimage to the ancestral home of Sango, a highly respected god in Yoruba land, whose adherents cut across the globe.
The community has to rebuild. Also, the government has to also support the traditional aspects of the Shango devotees.
That behave like Sango, and the birth of that Otela is different to the birth of the all the people.
The 10-day festival was marked with pageantry and other form of display. People from far and near converged in Oyo Town to celebrate the past Oyo ruler for his inspirational leadership. In Oyo, Adekunle Adebayo, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide for the network service of the NTA. More news in Jos, where Frama is standing by, that is, after this break. Stay tuned.
Firstly, safety. I'll ensure that my family members and loved ones are safe.
I'll try as much as possible not to get involved.
You should call the nearest police station.
I will alert my family, my friends, my neighbors in that vicinity that this is what is happening.
Who wins the star prize of 1 million naira in the ongoing Peace Nigeria Challenge, powered by Ask Nigeria in partnership with National Council for Arts and Culture, NCAC, Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and Star Times. Unity Challenge Nigeria, stronger together.
In the last 1.5 years or so since the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've seen massive changes in the way we do things at NPH-CDA. Working with the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, we were able to actually roll out in the first couple of weeks a massive community-based program that looked at how we could quickly mitigate the impacts of COVID-19 in the communities. So we rolled out a training that involved over 220,000 primary healthcare workers all across Nigeria. We're seeing how we've been able to now achieve pre-COVID levels in terms of the routine immunization services. That is really, really impressive, and really my heart goes out to all of the primary healthcare workers. They've done such an amazing job, along, of course, with all of the health workers that have been in the front line.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads and opening up opportunities for innovation.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
We are all Nigerians. Against all odds, we shall and must remain united. We may have our challenges, our problems, and setbacks. However, together we shall overcome them all. What doesn't break us shall make us stronger. This is the mindset that shall bring peace, progress, and prosperity to our beloved country. Do not let tribal and religious sentiments govern how you think, act, or feel. Don't be influenced by those who want to destroy our precious national unity. Everybody who is a Nigerian is your brother and your sister. This is the mindset of the new Nigeria. It is also the mindset that we must all adopt. Let us support each other in creating the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Thanks for staying tuned and welcome to Jos. Anglican Bishop of Jos, Benjamin Kwashi, has advised youth not to be used as agents of destabilization, but channel their energy towards productive ventures. Grace Akwegotip has the report.
The Anglican bishop, who is reacting to the recent crisis in Jos, says peace is a prerequisite for development.
The peace that God gives to humanity is not bought, is not sold, it is lived. So if we want to live in peace, we should be talking to each other about what makes for peace. Peace transcends religion. So I will want to appeal first and foremost that peace be taught in schools all over, and peace be spoken to children at home.
While condemning the recurring attacks in parts of the state, Bishop Kwashi emphasized the need for culprits to be punished accordingly to serve as deterrents to others.
Innocent people are suffering. So we must go back to justice. We must go back to commissions and reports and jail criminals. If we do that, believe me, it will be much easier for people like me and my imams and my brothers and sisters all over this state to speak peace, and people will listen.
The bishop also appealed to youths to focus more on their future and remain vanguards of peace. In Jos, Grace Akwegotip, NTA News.
Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Ibrahim Ali, has urged youths to be vanguards of peace.
This was at the Ibrahim Ali Marathon Race for Peace at Burkin Ladi local government area of Plateau State. Indian and Abuja has the reports.
The race attracted youths across religious divides to compete amongst themselves towards enhancing peaceful coexistence in view of the security challenges facing some parts of the state. Addressing the youths before the competition, Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Ibrahim Ali, says the competition will further boost the fight against insecurity and drive peace process in the state. Operation Safe Haven, he says, will not be distracted by rumor mongers bent on destabilizing the peace of the state and urge communities not to accommodate criminals using villages as hideouts.
You are the youth. You are the one that will be sitting here tomorrow. So you must come together as one and adopt peace.
I congratulate the athletes for turning out in mass to participate in the marathon. You have all proved to the entire world that peace has finally come to stay in Barkin Ladi.
Governor Simon Lalong represented and other critical players in the peace-building process say the competition will ensure sustainable peace.
Our youths have come together as one, under one indivisible entity, and with that, we need to synergize and further give support to the security we have across the local government.
The race is one of the programs organized by Operation Safe Haven towards achieving peace. In Jos, Indian and Abuja, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Ayodeji.
Thank you, Frama. Let's move on to nationwide. The need to revamp the tourism and hospitality industry in Nigeria through the use of digital technology is paramount, especially in this era of COVID-19 amidst security challenges. Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, Folorunso Koka, who said this at the South-South stakeholders meeting held in Calabar on boosting domestic tourism, is calling for the growth of the business. Odwak Etem reports.
The tourism and hospitality industry in Nigeria and the global community have in recent times suffered setbacks as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. In spite of the global impact, the resilience of the operators in the industry prompted an operational shift. Hence, the hosting of the South-South Stakeholders Forum.
So this meeting was a platform to bring us together, to enlighten us on how to, key into what the digital space is providing.
The use of technology to boost business, especially in the tourism industry, is very, very apt.
With the theme, the use of digital technology to revamp the tourism and hospitality industry amidst COVID-19 and security challenges in Nigeria. The Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation says this transformation to use digital technology as an innovation will open new opportunities for tourism business in the country to compete in global markets.
I'm certain there's going to be a post-pandemic boom in Nigerian domestic tourism.
It is therefore certain that stakeholders and all the sector professionals will take the advantage of this meeting to come out with workable and practical solutions.
It may interest you to know that with the introduction of digital technology, high-value services are being delivered in the industry.
There were paper presentations in line with the theme of discussion, and plenary sessions where productivity in enhancing technologies were suggested for the repositioning of the sector. Certificates of operations were given to some hotel owners in Cross River State. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
Towards reducing the level of unemployment and encourage self-empowerment in the country, the federal government has commenced skill acquisition training of 50 graduates each across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Director General, National Directorate of Employment, Malam Abubakar Nuhu, made this known while officially flagging off the program in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. And Sika Okon has details.
Training program tagged
Start Your Own Business is to train graduates in the country in various skill acquisitions that will enable them to live a fruitful life without waiting for white-collar jobs. Some of the beneficiaries thanked the federal government for the opportunity to become self-reliant and suggested more ways to further make the program more impactful to the beneficiaries.
All the training, it has really equipped us for what we are about to go into.
NTA should not just train us, give us this money, and just let us go like that. There should be a follow-up.
The Director General, National Directorate for Employment, Malam Abubakar Nuhu, urged the beneficiaries to be serious in the training in order to boost their productivity capacity for self-reliance.
So our expectation is not just the report we'll be receiving from our state offices, but we hope to also, get reports from you of what you intend to do after this training.
Everything we do in ND is free. All our training programs are free, from the form to the documentation, and even at the end of the day, we also pay them allowances.
What the SOLB entails is to provide a platform whereby they are trained, they are mentored to become entrepreneurs.
In Uyo, Nsika Okon, NTA News.
Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, and civil society organizations are strengthening partnership for advocacy towards building integrity and accountability in public service. The campaign, tagged Integrity Icons in Public Service, seeks to identify public servants who distinguished themselves in workplaces by promoting honesty and integrity. Joshua Ojito reports that the corruption-free public service campaign has in the last 5 years named and famed public servants who are expected to be agents of change in their various organizations.
Over the years, we do not have a document on national ethics and integrity policy, but for the first time it has been established. President Muhammad Buhari has approved it, and it is for implementation on ethical standard and integrity as contained in the policy.
We have developed a framework of engagement to bring sanity to the level of engagement and how civil society groups and government are supposed to work together, especially when it comes to issues of FOI.
It has been a paradigm shift which has changed the narrative by building models whom the younger persons and other public servants can begin to look at from the other side of the device. We still have a few other honest persons who are committed to doing their responsibilities the way they should.
As the 2021 Batch B Stream 2 orientation course is scheduled to commence Wednesday, the National Youth Service Corps says it remains committed to the sustenance of strict enforcement of COVID-19 preventive and safety protocols to guarantee seamless and smooth orientation course. Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, who stated this during a webinar on COVID-19 measures for safe orientation camp in collaboration with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization, warned against complacency by the prospective corps members and other members of the camp community. He noted that camp courts have been empowered to try violators of the safety protocols.
It's very, very important you vaccinate, because you don't put yourself in harm's way and you don't want to endanger others. You have to be very, very security conscious, and also ensure you don't travel at night.
The Director General, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu, while emphasizing that the COVID-19 pandemic has made large congregational setting unsafe, commended NYSC for the incredible sacrifice which made the sustenance of the program possible in the new normal.
So over the last year, we've put in place measures, processes, individuals, human resources to enable this program continue for you and for our country.
They, however, urge prospective corps members to get vaccinated during and after the NYSC orientation course. For sports updates now, let's join Amanzi Marcus.
The first day of this week began on a victorious note for Team Nigeria at the Tokyo International Forum, venue of the para-powerlifting events of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. Nigeria's Bosede Omolayo set a Paralympic Games record by lifting 141 kg in the women's minus 79 kg category, thereby erasing the former record of 138 kg to earn Nigeria a second gold medal. The world record is 143 kg.
Paralympic champion, Nigeria, Bose Omoyo.
Correspondent Femi Johnson reports from Tokyo that Nigeria has moved to position 23 with 2 gold and 2 bronze medals. From Abakaliki, correspondent Ijeoma Peter reports that about 3,000 sports stakeholders in Ebonyi State marched around major streets in the state capital weekend and ended at the stadium, all in support of the state government's decision to float a football team and host the Southeast Zonal Elimination for the 2021 National Youth Games in Ilorin, Kwara State. Sports administrators were unanimous that the decision of Governor David Umahi to invest in sports will provide a means of livelihood for many, especially for the youth. The last Grand Slam of the season, the U.S. Open, begins on Monday in New York, with mental health issues and coronavirus also in focus. World number 1 Novak Djokovic, who plays Stefanos Tsitsipas on Monday, has not been vaccinated and believes it should not be made compulsory. But tournament organizers say COVID-19 vaccination is not a condition for entry, but it is a condition for fans to attend. With sports update, Manzi Marcus, NTA News.
And that's nationwide this Sunday. We thank you